Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Dead in Vinland. It's a Viking survival simulator. You crash land on an island, and you try and survive against the elements, other Vikings, maybe some supernatural stuff, judging by that portrait up there and some other things. I don't know, this will be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I love this style. It kind of reminds me of... the combat's like Darkest Dungeon style, and the actual, like... survival stuff is like a much more survival game focused almost version of like Banner Saga in a way, and it's really fun. Anyway, so we've got a tutorial. I'm gonna keep that on. Permadeath mode, I'm not gonna keep that on. I'm not gonna keep quick start on, and honestly I'm not gonna show it here, but I'm gonna throw this on a nice vacation mode. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks, and I just don't want to throw myself into something particularly difficult. I apologize. I just want to kind of have a fun, challenging experience, and judging by those bonuses, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. I could be wrong, but, you know, hopefully it'll still be fairly engaging. I've played about 2 hours of it so far, and it really seems like it's still going to be a nice, challenging run regardless. Just less punishing.
I've always had simple needs. A roof. A family. A peaceful life. But, like the Skalds sing, you can't always get what you want. And what the gods gave me was fire and steel.
Kill the bastard!
They screamed. Luckily, we were warned in time. I can't forget the tears of my beloved Bloodywed when they burned down our house. Our memories. I yelled, "Drop these bags and row if you want to live." We barely escaped on a stolen boat, with no map and no destination. They didn't bother to follow us. No turning back. We were exiled. This is how our miserable journey began. We drifted for days. Depressed, hungry, lost. We thought we had reached the end of the world, when the gods sent us the most terrible storm. Our fate was decided. Death. Oblivion. Then, we saw it, coming out of nowhere. Salvation? Or Loki's dirty tricks? The gods are playing with us. But I just know that we must survive.
Apparently I unchecked the tutorial. I'll go back and turn it on. I was just pressing buttons to make the check mark appear, but it never lit up. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I can skip that cutscene, no problem, and just redo. Not a big deal. So is this kind of like Viking Darkest Dungeon? Maybe. I mean, that would be awesome. I think it's based on days, though. Like, days survived, so I think it might be more of, I don't actually know. Hopefully it's not exactly Darkest Dungeon, because I love Darkest Dungeon, but it was, like, it was too grindy for its own good. Which is what I ran into as a problem when playing the game. Like, too much repetition. Bloodywed, Kari, Moira, where are you? These are huge faces. It's like the camera needs to back off a little bit. Oh well. We're here, honey. We're fine. Odin be praised. The Allfather hasn't completely abandoned us, it seems. I wouldn't have bet on it, considering the last turn of events. Kari, are you alright, my child? Yeah, Mom, I'm great. Our home burned, Njord's best storm in our asses, and Dad's perfect landing on the sharp rocks of an unknown island. A perfect day. So we can go with any of them. Well, let's joke with her. In our misery, we can be thankful we didn't get Nord's rod up our asses. Believe me, honey. Ugh, gross. I'm gonna throw up. Reduced depression. Extra heart. Yeah, well, that's cute and all. But what do we do now? Do you have an idea where we are, Eirik? No. We drifted far to the west over many days, to the end of the world as we know it. Never heard of an island so far to the west. I don't think any Norsemen ever went here. Huh. We should explore the vicinity and see if we can find someone that could help us. I hope that someone doesn't turn out to be a frost giant or worse. We'll see. The family, still disoriented by the shipwreck, started to look around. They decided to walk away from the sad remains of their ship and to explore the woods. The forest was as silent as themselves. The atmosphere was getting tense. Then, look! Over there, a track! Kari rushed to take the path and the others followed her. They continued like this for almost an hour, when they found the end of the path outside the forest. A wooden shack just here. Doesn't seem to be inhabited, though. Look for survivors. You look around for a while, when you find 3 piles of dusty bones. One of them has a big hole in its skull. Here they are. And we loot their bones, but get depressed. Who do you think they were? Who cares? They're dead now. Maybe they shipwrecked on the island like us long ago. How did they die? They did not die in their bed, and they died at the same time, more or less. This one got his skull smashed by a blunt weapon. There must have been a struggle here. Is the island inhabited? There were 3 people living on the island at some time, so we can hope that there are more, but we can't be sure. We'll be sure when we've explored all the island. What do we do now? Now we try our best to survive. There's no hope of turning back to our home. Only fire and steel await us there. So we must start a new life here. It may be a land of new possibilities for us, as long as we stick together. Is it just me, or is his mouth, like, really small? It feels really small to me. I'm thankful to Frigg to be able to endure this hardship with my husband, my dear sister, and my daughter. Oh, sister and daughter. So the those little happiness meters are going to get cumbersome. Without my family, I wouldn't have the will to fight and live. We're here for you, sister. Always. So these are siblings. I was wondering if they're... Because she looked too old to be a daughter. But I still hope this cursed island is inhabited. Time will be very long if it's just the 4 of us. And we'll need husbands if we want to repopulate the island. Right, Kari? Ugh, no. No way, ever. You can stay in bed with your dirty dreams. I'm going to explore this island and make it mine. Listen, everyone. Now's not the time for jokes. We have plenty to do if we want to survive. We have enough potable water for a few days if we ration ourselves, but we can't rely on that. I found 2 big barrels that we can use as containers for our water. Don't forget, don't drink water coming from rivers before boiling it. You'd be sick to death. So that means we need to build a fire, quickly. I only have 1 fire mushroom left. Here, take it. What? Good. We'll need to build a lot of things if we want to settle here. I'll set up a workshop with a few tools where we can work quietly. Well, we need resources. Wood, stone, ropes. We can scavenge wood from our ships for now. We still had a bit of food left on it, too. We should go fetch it. Yes, but it won't last long. We mustn't rely on that too much. I looked around and found some things we could use. Check it out. Wood. Rope. Stone. Good job, Kari. Happiness. We should explore the surroundings some more. We might find food, resources and whatnot. And beasts and traps. I agree we should explore, but be careful. We don't know what to expect. Let's start working on this camp. We have plenty to do. Okay. I'm gonna go back and turn on the tutorial. That was a little bit more than I was expecting. Whoop. Okay, now that I've actually turned the tutorial on, Dead in Vinland is a turn-based game. You can always take your time to think. Each day is divided into 3 phases, morning and afternoon, during which your characters can perform various tasks on the camp, and night, when they discuss, eat, drink, and rest a little before the next day. Your most critical resources are your fire and your water. Always keep an eye on their level. Click on this to access fire and water management. Okay, right now the fire is completely off. You can light the fire using 5 wood and 1 tinder. Once lit, you only need to feed it some wood when its intensity decreases. Be careful though. Without fire, the family won't hold on for long, or won't hold for long, huh? And tinder is pretty scarce. Okay. They also can't survive drinking non-potable water, so it needs to be purified into potable water by boiling it. Notice the decrease of fire intensity in the process. These will definitely require some fine-tuned management. Well, I guess I might as well convert it all over and we'll just try and get some more wood. Okay, so putting in a log will get me 15 to 25% worth of... Okay, I'm glad that it shows me the math there. Now's the time to assign some tasks to your characters. There's still some supplies in your shipwreck. Someone should scavenge it. All the characters can be accessed from the sidebar, and just need to be dragged and dropped onto an activity slot in the camp. Okay, drag Moira onto the search slot. Oh, that works. Okay, great. We'll see later how to execute the assigned task. Everyone has something to do. Fetch some more water. Okay, drag Ludwig onto the fetch water slot. Is this fetch water? Okay. Upgrade your camp to be able to live there. Workshop enables crafting activity. Contains many ways to improve your camp. Build new stations. Upgrade existing ones. Okay, so Eirik is craftsman. Some stations have additional options available. Accessible by clicking on the station. Remember to look for these, especially when a new station has just been built. Okay, choose a crafting plan. Wood is a pretty basic resource, useful to keep the fire blazing and craft some things. It's a good idea to build a lumber camp as soon as possible. Oh, geez. This is, a little bit more involved than I thought. Honestly, this reminds me of, Thea the Awakening. Purely from, like, an outward perspective. I'm sure it'll diversify a lot. Just the basic resource management into structures and stuff. Okay, workshop is currently damaged, which is indicated by the color within the hammer icon of the HUD. Okay, click here to have a global view of the camp condition and be able to repair stations. Every station apart from Shipwreck and Expedition Camp deteriorate a bit every night, and every time they are being used by some characters. Lower condition means lower efficiency, be sure to repair them frequently. Okay. So, this is repair. 1 stone. How do I see how much stone I have left? I don't know, I'm gonna put both in. Oh, I see. It was that, so I'm totally out of stone. So we also need to build a tavern and a forge once we have more people. Last but not least, exploration. Remember, the family just arrived on an unknown island. Who knows what they may find? Resources, dangers, maybe even people. Okay, and Kari for this. Oop. And then finally, they have something to do. Let time flow. And observe the outcomes. So she gets some wood. Some rope. Hey, thank you to Super for the Twitch sub. Wow, we're getting a lot of random stuff. I assume the Shipwreck probably doesn't have that many useful things. Oh, so crafting skill can level up from this. That's good to know. So it looks like there's a lot of upgrade trees and potentially RPG trees. I like the character art. It's very well done. She does not look happy to be out here. At all. Okay, so we have a new area discovered. That's interesting. Okay, looks like Kari just finished exploring a new area of the island. Let's have a look at what's there using the map. Huh. Click on the newly discovered area, marked with a red exclamation mark, to open it. Every area contains exactly one thing you can interact with. Find it and click on it to display all available actions. Most of these can only be used a fixed amount of times, aka like 2 times, and the red ones indicate that you won't be able to do any other action afterwards. Please note that performing these actions won't affect the time of the day, so you can do as many as you wish and can. You can also choose to keep some for later. Ornate coffer, guess that's the only thing. So we have inspect. You whistle when you examine the chest. It's almost in a perfect state, and its craftsmanship is exquisite. The antlers have been polished and circled in gold. The intricate carving shows great mastery of woodworking. Even the choice of wood is luxurious. Makes you wonder if the inside matches the outside. Let's check surroundings. Okay, so this is exploration level. Let's just try that. Something bugs you. The chest seems to have been abandoned not that long ago, in plain sight. Search for anything unusual. You fear an ambush. You carefully search the surroundings, but find no one alive. What you do find, though, are 2 dead Norsemen, and a dead furry creature you've never seen before. From the looks of the scene, you believe the one with trousers down was relieving himself when he was attacked by the big unknown creature. His friend killed the beast, but not before suffering a fatal wound to the abdomen. They must have died 2 days ago at most. That means they won't mind if you take their belongings, will they? While you were away from the chest, someone smashed it open and looted everything valuable inside. Damn! That should teach you about leaving a valuable treasure unguarded. More depression. But, well, some items are usable, which means they can be used instantly on any character. Those are very helpful in keeping them up and running, so you should definitely remember to use them. You can access the use item pop-up via the sidebar, or by directly clicking on the character. Use item pop-up. Okay, this is use an item. Try using an item on a character who needs it most, or because you have a personal preference. It's up to you after all. So, protects against the plague, -10 depression, -10 sickness, -10 depression and excited. Chance for sickness and... okay. Well, who has the highest forestry? I should probably use the axe on Eirik for higher forestry. In order to manage properly the family's well-being and efficiency, your most valuable asset is the character sheet, where you can find all the pieces of information you need about each character. You can access the character sheet via the sidebar, or clicking on the... whoa! Hi! On the character. There we go. The health of the character is composed of 5 different parts. If any of these go all the way to 100, but the character dies. If one of the 4 family members dies, the game is over. Okay. Every character has different strengths, so these are the HPs. Every character has different strengths expressed by their skills. Skills will increase over time when being used. I like that. Skills are grouped into 4 categories, each of which being negatively affected by different elements of the health of the character. So, endurance. Okay, so we can see that. That's neat. We also have traits. Potential hero. Extra EXP gains to concentration and endurance. Nice vacation. Yeah, when I turned on the tutorial, I turned on the easier difficulty. I'm more interested in getting to the end of this game, or end of the available content, than I think challenging myself right now. I've just been sick for the past, like, 2 weeks, and I'm not exactly, in a rush to throw myself into harder games. And also, I prefer the faster the game to be, the harder. So, like, you know, roguelikes that can be beaten in an hour. Those I like being hard, because, yeah, I can, like, throw myself at the wall repeatedly and not feel too frustrated. Whereas, like, imagine if I got 10 hours into this and lost. That's what I get with XCOM, honestly. Okay, so, lasting remorse. So, reduced depression decreases EXP gains and minus harvesting. I'm just kind of gonna look at some of these. She's bulimic. Oh. Stay-at-home mom. Aristocrat. Cunning. Nice vacation. Weak body. Stiff. Blood phobia. Wait. Suspected witch. That's interesting. Can't stay in one place. Gluttonous and hates gardening. Okay, so hopefully those will be more obvious. Every task in the camp is associated to a skill, and a character with a higher skill will yield better results. You should now be able to plan the next phase on your own. Gotcha. Well, what do we even have left? So, workshop. Choose a crafting plan. So he's working on the lumber camp. Can't do much with that. Apparently, we can only check out the shipwreck 10 times. Yeah, 9 uses left. Well, that's fine. Do we have any farming? And I might as well have her just keep exploring. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm going to deviate from this. Except for maybe... Let's take a look at her character sheet. What is she good at? She's good at cooking, beast handling. Not very good at gardening or any of these. Okay, so really not so useful. She's okay at scavenging. In that case, this is a scavenging action. Why is she on this? How do I remove her from this? Okay, let's try... What the... Okay, let's try putting her on that. Instead, we'll have her scavenge. And... What is she good at? She's really good at healing, beast handling, harvesting, and gardening. Can I do anything in the garden here? Not overwhelmingly. We need more water. Farming has to be unlocked through the workshop. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. Well, we've got some amount of water to begin with. So I'm not too worried about this. Okay. So what'd she get this time? More wood. Yeah, putting her on scavenging seems like it might have been a better idea. And I'm probably going to rush farming as soon as we get the lumber mill down. Okay. Let's see, lumber camp. The island is covered in a beautiful forest, so finding trees is not a problem. But cutting trees and bringing them back to camp is. So enables woodcutting activity for one character. Oh, click to fast forward. Wow, she got a lot of water from that. Oh, but since she's not good at it, her fatigue goes up considerably. I also like the fast forward, click to fast forward. That's going to be helpful. Okay, let's close that. The sun is fading. Time for the family to make final arrangements before the night, during which they will chat, drink. Okay, there's nothing set in stone, but a good rule of thumb is to have some food, approximately 1 potable water per person, and to make sure that the fire intensity is high enough so they won't die out during their sleep. Just click on the end day button when everything is taken care of. Well, do we have food? How do I even know? I don't know. I guess let's check this out at the very least. Wheat patch. Inspect. Wild wheat is growing here. It's vibrant gold color, promising tasty grains. Let's harvest the wheat. Who's got good harvesting? You. You search for the best looking sprouts and bring them back to camp. You grab a fistful of wheat and carefully cut the wheat at the ground. Once you have enough, you tie the bundles into sheaves. Okay, that gets us some seeds. Let's keep harvesting. She's gonna be tired. But, like, it's bedtime anyway. And hopefully we'll farm tomorrow. Hunt here. Who's decent at hunting? You are. Okay, the tall grass is perfect to spot. Perfect spot for hunting birds and small rodents. Line wait, track animals. Line wait. You find the perfect spot to hide within the wheat patch. You're rather comfy and undetectable. You wait for hours, but nothing moves. You wait so long you end up falling asleep. Maybe you're a bit too comfy. You're woken up by a small rodent climbing over your face to reach the wheat. Praise the gods for your luck. You catch the animal and break its neck. 5 raw meat. Okay, back to camp. So we need 1.25 potable water Okay, so check the water supplies. Okay, so that should be enough water for everybody. I will have to repair this later, which means we'll have to find stone. Okay, shelter. Check status. How do I cook? We might not have the ability to cook yet. How do I see how much food I have? We've got, like, raw fish and stuff. It's water, fire. Settings, tasks log. Build your camp, scavenge. Natural resources. Natural resources are not infinite. Some stations rely on these. The more they are used, the less resources will yield, and the more strenuous the task will become. They replenish over time. Okay. So, lumber camp gains from 6 to 10, and uses 6 to 4. So I can use it about twice a day-ish. We'll see. So the cooking station also has to be built in the workshop. Okay, choose a crafting plan. So we've done workshop. We have a lot of things. So cooking pot, we need stone. Herbalist, healing tent, forge, fishing camp, hunting camp, mining camp, dryer, garden. Need more rope and stone. Okay, mining? Okay, we can make a mining camp. Stone and iron to make more complicated tools. What else do we have that I could make? Alternatively, we could go harvesting first. Might not be a bad idea to go harvesting camp first. Because harvesting camp has the ability to get juicy fruit you can find in the forest. Yeah, let's build that. Oh, level. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Now I could actually reduce her fatigue. Nope, I can't. Well, that's fine. So if I hit end of day, are they just going to keep doing what they're doing, or is that just the end of the day? Okay, that's just the end of the day. Okay, that's enough for today. Come, everyone. It's time to grab a bite, and try to sleep a little. You can start without me. I want to consolidate this shelter some more. You shouldn't overdo it, Eirik. The shadows are already dancing with us. No, really. I can. I must do it. It's my fault if you... Not again, Eirik. We already discussed this topic. You don't have to take the blame alone for what's happening to us. But you heard me, honey. The men that burned our home were after me. They screamed, "Kill the bastard!" I'm the bastard. It's my burden to bear, alone. Why did they call you that? That's a story I'd like to hear. If we weren't close to dying from starvation, of course. We should make traps. The forest must be full of tiny meat on legs. And full of big dangers. I'd prefer if you stay here with me. There's plenty to do at camp. In your dreams, Mom. Yeah. Okay, we have some axes. We have some bags. We're good to cut trees in the forest from now on. I'll let you take care of that. I don't have the muscle for it. You can help too, Moira. You must strengthen your body. You're too weak. I'm the sister who got the bind. You got the muscle. They're just being natty at each other. And I got both. Sure, you sure do, child. This is weird dialogue. Cutting trees is tiresome, but hauling them back to camp even more so. Anyone can help, but don't overdo it if you're tired. You'll just end up hurting yourself. I just want to remind everyone that wood is our main resource for crafting and for keeping our fire. So we shouldn't overlook keeping a steady supply of wood. Okay, so we've built the camp. So hunger goes up. They're dehydrated. Share the water. Every night, characters will most likely be dehydrated. The more potable water you give them, the more likely they'll be rehydrated. Let's see. Staying dehydrated means penalties. and the dehydration will worsen after the next day. If they reach dehydrated 4 and are not rehydrated that night, they will die. Okay, so they're dehydrated 1. 100% chance to lower the character's dehydration by 1, 90%. So I could kind of risk it with some of these things. Do I risk the 10% to... Yeah, it seems like, at least for now, going with the 1 is probably the safest bet. Because I could go for the 1.25, but this might help. Okay, and share the food. They also need to split whatever edible stuff they have. Different foods have different effects. Most of the food is perishable, so a good part of it will rot before the end of the night. They might be better off getting the most value out of it now. Drag and drop food onto each of them until satisfied, and proceed to the next night by clicking, the end of the night, by clicking the next button. Okay, so we have raw meat, and raw fish. Well, how hungry are they anyway? Okay, so we do have to worry about sickness. So he's getting kind of sick. That's probably fine for now. Non-perishable. Night effects. Okay, so fatigue goes down a little bit. And we lose 30 fire. Good to know. Okay, so some of my stuff spoils. So during the day... So night effects, fatigue is -18 to -9. Fire intensity, 20 to 30. Okay, good to know. So, I think this is actually going to be a good stopping point, more or less the end of the first, major day. Learning all the ropes, there's a lot more to get into. Oh boy, is there. I really like this game, the whole building up your settlement, dealing with, managing resources. The RPG leveling system feels really nice and deep. And it seems like the exploration and perk system is going to be kind of cool too. I'm looking forward to getting further into it. So at the beginning of the episode, I said that I've played about 2 hours. It's a little bit more. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. But so far, it's kind of the same core gameplay loop. You just gather resources, you produce stuff, you build structures, you explore, rinse, repeat. There is combat. I think we'll get into more of that as we go along. I've only actually ever fought 2 different unit types. Hopefully there's more than that. And it's just locked based on time and, people and stuff. I don't know. It's not that it matters too much. Honestly reminds me a lot of Darkest Dungeon, though, obviously lacking in the variety and customization to some degree. But I guess maybe it really is the midpoint between, like, Darkest Dungeon and Thea the Awakening, which I really, really enjoy. And I enjoy kind of the focused single-player aspect of all of it, more of a linear narrative than a procedurally generated survival simulator, which seems kind of fun. I'm sure every run of this is kind of different, but for me, I enjoy the fact that, I will be able to beat this as a series. There's probably some kind of concrete end waiting for me, as opposed to infinite grinding so that I could maybe take on the Darkest Dungeon again. Who knows? Anyway, so, game's already out. Yeah, it came out on the 12th, so it's out. You can pick it up. I think it's, what, 15, 20 bucks? I guess I can check right now. Store page, Dead in Vinland. It is 20 bucks, down to 18 on sale for launch. I would recommend it if you like Darkest Dungeon, Thea the Awakening, kind of town management, settlement simulator, so on and so forth. I think it really fits in well with the rest of them, and I like the narrative aspects of it, even if it's a little long-winded at times. Just in general, it just seems kind of a fun little series to do for a while. Anyway, I guess if you guys like this episode in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more, like I said, I'm shooting for a full series, so I'm going to be streaming this more, and hopefully wrapping it up within the next week or two. And then, you know, just pacing out the content. So, I guess with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.